Planet Coaster Console Edition is a version of the game that was hoped would come out, and it did on November the 10th, 2020. Although similar to the PC version, there are quite a few differences, so I decided to make a review on it to see what I think about playing the game in this different way. So to help me with this, I've made a list that contains things that make a good game if done well. So let's start with gameplay. So when you start, your first parking career will be one where it teaches you the basics of the game. This includes what to do and also the controls. It's really easy to follow along, and although I already knew how to play the game, I needed it to learn the controls for my controller. What I also found quite cool was how there are voice prompts that talk you through the steps or your objective. You can see that at the top of the screen. I never even got any of these when I started on PC, let alone the training map. So once you've done that, then there's a second map that shows you how to build a custom coaster. Now this shows the controls and also tells you what factors make a good ride. It's also very handy to anyone who's new to the game or console edition, as the coaster builder's interface is quite different to what you'd find on PC. Once you've done all of these, you can play the game with ease. The only thing that will hinder your experience is the park's limit. This stops you from being able to build massive parks that can be annoying, though it is for a reason, to stop overheating and lag. The controls are considerably slower than on PC, that is just the limit of using a controller. It does for sure take longer to play scenery and build coasters, however, I think they did well for a controller. So for gameplay, I'm going to give it an 8. Although the limit could be frustrating for some, I find the game really immersive to play. Then for controls, I'm going to give it a 7. It can take a long time to build coasters and play scenery compared to PC, however, as I said, they did really well for controller and you will get the hang of it. Now for graphics, this is quite interesting. At first glance, my Xbox did look better than PC due to its high contrast levels, though when it came to reflections in the lake, detail and sharpness, PC seems to do better. Though that's on max graphics. If your console's better than your PC, then this is a completely different story. If you are interested in this topic, I've made a full comparison video that I'll link in the card above. So I think the graphics are great, although not as good as PC, there isn't a game-changing difference. The colours still pop, and they're still solid compared to other games on console. I was not really expecting the interface to be different, but it is. The park management section is laid out in a simpler and more intuitive way that I like, and there are also some other changes such as the coaster selection panel, and also linking this to earlier, the coaster builder is structured differently to fit the controller. So I'm going to give this a 9. The park management section just feels so much easier to get around, and it all just feels really refreshing. The workshop is a place where people can upload their Planet Coaster creations and share them with the community. It's on console, but slightly different. The interface, instead of being on Steam, is in its own section called the Frontier Workshop. The one thing I would wish would be different is so it could do cross-platform with PC, so I can access things instead of just being from other consoles. Though I'm still very grateful this has been implemented into the game, so I'm going to give it a 7. The overall score is 39 out of 50. This is nearly 4 stars. Planet Coaster is one of my favourite games, and if I scored the PC version it would be even higher, but I think they did an awesome job with Console Edition having to get around many barriers, though I think they pulled it off. Now throughout this video you might have seen some small clips of my first custom coaster outside the training map, so I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.